Lush greenery covers South Mountain State Park. But look closely, and you'll see dead trees, gray gaps within the forest, the result of a huge wildfire in November 2016. That's when fire raced through more than a third of the park, burning 10 square miles. Nearby resident Lori Wortman says the scope of the fire surprised her.
It was a pretty day, and then they said there was a fire at the park. And of course, I wondered where.
Fire raged for a month. Drought, winds, and steep terrain made the blaze difficult to contain.
It just blew up unbelievably.
More than 500 firefighters from North Carolina and as far away as Alaska put out the fire.
They would come in very tired and hungry and cold and wet, and it was really made you have a good feeling to know you had a hot meal ready for them. I cannot tell you how touching it was to see the community come together.
Biologist Sharon Bischoff says while fire can threaten people and property, it's beneficial for wildlife.
As a biologist, seeing the regeneration immediately in that first growing season and now in the second year after the fire is really exciting. To have fire in the forest is really critical for a lot of plants and animals to survive and ecosystems to persist.
After the fire, flowers, plants, and trees sprouted to life. Bischoff points to the Table Mountain pine, a tree with a special kind of cone.
So normally all of these cones would be sealed tight and closed like this one. But during intense heat, the resins or sap that keep them sealed closed will soften and the cones pop open and they release lots and lots of seeds.
Those seeds turned into seedlings the following spring, only a few months after the fire.
A year after the fire, that first growing season, a lot of the seedlings looked like this, and they were kind of popping up all over the forest floor on this ridge top. And then we have 2-year seedlings. You can see there's a much size difference.
Within North Carolina, we're known as the land of the pines. And so without fire, pine trees aren't going to be able to survive.
Thomas Crate is an expert on wildfire and led efforts to put out the 2016 fire at South Mountains. By looking at the accumulation of leaves, or leaf litter, Crate can tell how much time has passed since the last big fire.
What I'm looking at is this is actually where the leaf litter was prior to the fire. And so we're looking at about half a foot of leaf litter that actually got consumed in the wildfire. So in this, it burned it straight down to bare mineral soil. To get up to here, you're looking at 50 to 60 years without fire to build up that high.
The burning of the leaf litter uncovered insects on the ground for birds to eat. The fire also provided nutrients in the soil for plants like fireweed to flourish.
When a fire moves through the forest, it breaks down the duff layer, which is made up of sticks and twigs and dead leaves. But when it breaks down that duff layer, it releases carbon and puts it back into the soil and provides a lot of nutrients for the next generation of plants to be popping up.
While some plants need fire to regenerate, others, like the pitch pine, can survive a blaze and put out new growth.
So when a fire will roll through this natural community, these branches are not here. A little bit of the stress of the fire, charring the outside and burning off some of the needles, the tree kind of responds. It's another regenerative response that once the fire's passed through, it will sprout out more needles just to help it keep itself going.
More than 2 years after the fire, plants at South Mountain State Park are thriving.
It's something you always learn about and know that it happens, but when you get to see it time and time again, it's kind of like seeing old friends.